Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
And I'm Carrie Gravenson.
Carrie Gravenson, an angel, picked me up from
Oh my
the
God.
colonoscopy
Wouldn't
appointment.
miss it.
After all,
Could not miss it.
I knew after I did this prep that I'll get into excruciating detail
Oh,
with the
good.
audience. I was like, I thought I'd be able to. I don't want to ask somebody to pick me up, somebody to wait for
No.
me, take it out of a work day, but God, no pun, God forbid they don't do it because I don't have somebody there with me. After
Yeah.
I realized how bad the prep was, I
Yep.
can't take that risk. So I said, Carrie, just in case, do you happen
Yeah.
to be around? And she's like, be around. I'm all for it.
I took time out of my day as a day trader.
Oh, okay.
I'm a day trader on Wall Street, and I was like, buy, sell, buy, sell.
Right.
I gotta go pick up Keith. So I lost millions.
But Carrie and Liz ended up talking to each other. And at
Oh my
one point,
God.
like Carrie says, oh my God, he's going to be fucking hungry. He's going to be loopy. He's going to be gassy. I wouldn't miss this for the world. She brought a
Couldn't
video
miss it.
crew.
Would
Yeah.
never miss it. I don't actually work on Wall Street, guys. I don't know if that was clear. No, I had the day off, and everyone likes to feel useful, and I got mad friend points. And
Yes.
who wouldn't want to see a gassy, sleepy Keithy? I
So
mean, it's a
it
party.
this prep. By the way, right now I'm drinking Gatorade fruit punch. I'm having red Jello. I'm
Oh
eating
my God.
beets. Oh,
Oh,
it's
you're
good to be
going
back.
fucking crazy, man.
Good to be
Beats are the
back.
first thing.
It is the prep is the worst, and
The worst.
I know what's going on in the world, and I try to keep things into perspective. And maybe you're like, yeah, Keith, we just had our first school shooting of 2025. I get other shit's going on, but man, you if you don't, then you don't know what this prep is. If you think I'm exaggerating, that it's the
Yeah.
worst thing in the world. Yes, I understand more California fires. I follow. I get it. I know people that are displaced, but man, if you never did this prep for a colonoscopy,
It's the
you wouldn't
worst.
understand. I am
You
not
can't think about
exaggerating.
anything. People are like, just do something to take your mind off it. You're like,
Oh,
how?
yeah.
How? You're
You- you-
cramping. Your body is rejecting any suggestion of doing anything besides shitting.
right. And I like that Carrie obviously has gone through this before.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm seeing these fires are so bad. There's something called a fire tornado where fire spins around like a fucking tornado, and that's how it can travel also. What the fuck? So why can't a
Wow.
sharknado happen? I think it's just
I
upset
think
scientists because they're like, well, a tornado doesn't come from the ground. It comes from like, okay, but I can understand sharks being scooped up by a tornado.
they should call it a fire sharknado.
Okay, right. That'd be cool.
It's a
They're on
sharknado.
fire.
It's just sharks on fire.
Pictures like somebody's watching one of these LA
It's on
tornado
fire.
fires, like the director of Sharknado 4, and he's like, why didn't we think of that?
Ah.
Kept doing the same shit. The world spotted, let's see, here's a picture I'm looking at that happened in the Pacific Palisades, a firenado. The flaming twisters, also called fire devils, they are commonly mistaken for a tornado, which forms in the clouds and travels to the ground. A firenado forms from the ground up. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be thinking it through when it's
Jeez
coming to me.
Louise.
I think you're supposed to act bigger than the firenado. I think that's how you
Right,
scare
right,
it off, or you
right.
play dead.
You don't
Uh,
sneak up. You don't get between it and its young.
right. Private professional fire crews. Oh, did you know there were? I never thought about it. Private
Private.
houses. So which is fucking weird. So I get it. If it's better to help than not to help, but at the same time, you're just watching my house with a fire truck and a hose while
Yeah.
other things going on because I paid you $2,000
Yes. And why
an
would you ever
hour.
work for the public sector if you can make private money? Like, why
Right.
would you, right? Like, you either
Yeah.
you're a volunteer firefighter or you're a private firefighter.
You think you're dating a firefighter and you are, but you see on TV like, oh my God, I guess you have to leave my date, right? You're a firefighter, go get him. Like, no, I work
Mm,
privately, but I do have to
yeah.
have the phone on the table
Right.
just in case.
Right, right.
But
In case my client calls me
right, my
to be
client.
activated. I know, isn't that sick?
Oh, it's weird. It's just fucking weird. A millionaire real estate investor, people shat on him. Keith Wasserman. He wrote on X, hey, he's looking for a private firefighter. Does anybody have access to private firefighters? He tweeted out to protect our home in the Pacific Palisades, our home. Need to act fast here. All neighbors' houses burning. We'll pay any amount.
Any
Thank you.
any amount.
And his house ended up burning down. And so
Did it?
he deleted the tweet that people were shitting on. And he's like, never mind, I was good. I can
Yeah,
do
he
it
got so
myself.
much grief. I didn't hear that his house beat burned
Yeah,
down, but like I'll do it. Any amount. Give me
right.
$30 million. I'll go stand on your house.
Chris Dunn, owner of the covered six, number six, said his phone call has been ringing off the hook as the Hollywood elite jockey for his services. A reporter for the San Francisco Chronicle observed one home outfitted with water sprayers continuously drenching the roof as specialists stood by all night watching for flare ups. They just stomp out little fucking things that come up.
That's amazing.
Other firms spray the landscape with fire retardant. Well, we don't say that anymore. Well, I guess you do with Trump. And
Oh,
cocoon trees and bushes in thick fireproof materials. Yeah, it's
yeah.
weird. It's just
I
weird.
mean, I'll just stand there and curse at it, you know. Maybe
Like,
it'll shrink back.
is it like if you hired a guy to watch your house for looters, and then if you see somebody looting across the street, they don't do anything about
You
it?
don't do anything about it. They didn't hire you. It's not your job. It's not, there's a whole subreddit for not my job.
Arrests are soaring in fire-ravaged LA, mainly for looting, with one guy caught dressed as a firefighter while stealing from a home. How about
Oh, that's
that?
smart. That's really smart
That's death penalty. If you could pretend, you can't pretend to be a cop, then you can't pretend to be a
to be a
firefighter.
firefighter.
I hope there's a
Right.
law. Never mind looting, of course,
Was he
but
pretending to be a private firefighter, though? That's the
right. He's like, oh, I
question.
work for
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is my client.
Los Angeles County Sheriff confirmed at least 29 of these fake firemen have been arrested. Separate incidents.
29
Yeah,
fake firemen?
at least. And
Damn.
this is some days ago that I'm reading. Well, many of the busts were for looting. At least two involved breaking curfew. There, blah 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 blah. But yes,
Mm,
fake firefighters.
gross, man. Gross. If
Yeah.
you are listening and you pretend to be a firefighter to loot houses, you are bad,
Hmm.
and I hope you get hemorrhoids.
Look at that. Well,
Yeah.
that's interesting that that's your big punishment because I think I gave myself one from wiping so much. I hope they get the death penalty.
Oh, okay. I hope
Yeah.
they die from hemorrhoids.
I hope they have to go into a real firefighter situation with other firefighters, but the firefighters know not to trust this firefighter.
Right. I hope they have
They
incurable acne.
We saved all the kids. Oh, there's a cat still inside. Okay, Bob,
Yeah.
there's a cat still inside. Go get him, tough guy.
Yep.
On his way out, Biden gave $770 to each victim of the fires. That, of course, doesn't count what FEMA's going to do. But, and we all like those checks when they come once in a blue moon. Where do you pick up your check?
It gets zapped into your account automatically. You get paper checks.
I got physical checks during those
Ew,
stimulus
ew.
shits.
You
Yeah.
didn't tell me that when you asked me to do the show.
You didn't tell me that kind
When
of
you
work.
asked me to pick, we hang out.
I also do Apple Music. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I should have.
Paper checks? No, they just zap it into my account. If they sent me a paper check, I'd mail it back and be like, put this into my account.
I'll take 100 less. Put it in my
What do you
account.
do? Yeah, I'm not going to what am I doing? You could still deposit it from your phone, right? Do you deposit your checks on your phone?
Yeah, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, okay. So you're
Yes.
not a complete
I'm a
monster.
human.
Right,
Right.
right.
Not a Neanderthal. Liz was very happy that you picked me up from the colonoscopy.
Did
She
she
said
appreciate that I took care in what I wore to pick you up?
you had earrings shaped like buttholes, kind of, right?
Yeah, I wore them to show your audience
Okay,
that
I see.
I wore I was picking out earrings and I was like, what earrings do you wear to
Do an
colonoscopy
event.
pickup? And this was the closest I had to a
It kind
butthole.
of does. Yeah, you can see the circle and then the flower. I guess somebody would think that's a flower, but yeah, now that you say.
No, that's your butthole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, please thank her on my behalf. I feel a lot better knowing she's there. And Carrie said, like I said, but the opportunity to see a post-sedated, hungry, gassy Keith is just plain fun for me. The so when I was asking Carrie, like, hey, just are you free, just in case, worst case? That's when I learned that she had a colonoscopy herself, and her stand-up album, Cry Through This,
I cry through it.
Cry Through It is very good. And you talk about the butt problems you had, but I didn't put it together that you had had a colonoscopy. But we're being like, no red, no purple. They can't tell what's blood. They can't tell
Yeah.
what's Gatorade. But so we're like, the whole thing seems so unscientific
Yeah.
and clever, right? And then Carrie said, oh, did they tell you no nail polish? And I said,
Yes.
in my asshole? But she was being serious. What'd they say to you?
So they said, make sure you don't wear nail polish. And I was like, okay, I won't. But why? And they said, because if you die from your fingertips in, and your nail beds are the first place they'll see it. And I
Check
was
the
like,
nails again.
uh, yeah. And I was like, what about all these machines?
Right.
Like, what about the clip on my finger that has my heart rate? Like, what about
That doesn't tell you faster
that
than
doesn't, yeah, nobody else is watching my breath rate or like,
nails
what,
are still good. Nails are still
yeah,
good.
nails are
Okay.
good. All right, check the nails. She feels really cold. Check her nails.
And this is
Like,
anesthesia we're talking about. I didn't know
yeah,
this until
going under anesthesia. You die from your fingertips in. Ugh, it's so creepy.
I
Yeah.
didn't know until I said, okay, let me just get this stuff done. I'm old enough for this colonoscopy. Seems like it's more
Yeah.
than about time. Um,
So
but
yours was regular checkup, right? You didn't
a
have
regular
like a,
checkup.
okay, okay.
I didn't know that you get fully put under, which I'm fine with. It's
Right,
just, I mean, good. And the actual procedure, no problem. Really,
right.
no problem. Anesthesia is so fucking weird. It's time travel. They're like, the guy's about to put this needle of anesthesia into my arm, and I'm like, "Oh, doctor, I have another question. Do you check the prostate?" He's like, "Kinda," and I'm like, "Okay." And then the guy finishes the needle. It's just funny. He's like, "I know not to even start this." I'm thinking like, you could start it. I'm just asking a question. As soon as he squeezed that needle into it, you can taste it and smell it
Yep,
somehow.
yep, yep.
And then the next thing you know, you're in another room.
You're,
Okay, you ready to go? I'm like,
yeah.
I guess the
But for
machine
like,
told you I'm ready to go, but that's time travel. It's
but for
crazy.
4 seconds, you feel amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, this is
Like
good.
you're like, ah, and then like it's like the most beautiful passing out ever. Like
Yes.
you're like aware of it. You're like
Yeah.
Twilight, and then you're out. The question I got asked before I got put under was, "Are you a natural redhead?"
What?
Yeah. And I thought the guy was hitting on me, which was
Hmm.
very weird because I'm basically naked. There's a camera about to go up my butt, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Are you a natural redhead?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "No, because I'm the anesthesiologist, and if you're a natural redhead, we need more anesthesia for you because you have that gene.
Oh
I
shit.
have that gene that makes it." So I'm like, he's like, "Are you a natural red?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a natural redhead." And I'm like, in my head, I was like, "You're about to see my
Right.
pubes, dude." Like,
Right, right. I'm gonna find out if it matches the
yeah, I know.
drapes.
You're gonna find out if it matches the drapes in a second, buddy. But no, he asked to be polite, and yeah, and it's because redheads have a gene. And look it up. It's not an urban legend. We're finally
Right.
validated. True. We're not making it up.
No, it's actually worse, right? All the things they say about the redheads, and then it's like you got to give them extra put out juice.
Yeah.
These fucking witches.
And we are more sensitive to hot and cold. Boom. Boom. Not just a whiny bitch in my jeans.
I was made. I was born this way.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I
I'm
was
too cold.
premeditated.
I'm a natural redhead.
So the day before, I had you the way what I was told. You can have like a breakfast with meaning. So it's the day before, and I made the breakfast big: eggs, cheese, toast. It's very exciting. Not too crazy, but
Raw
whatever.
meat. Yeah.
Then you have, let's see. Oh, that was the night before. Oh, okay.
Because
Sorry.
the day of, you have to eat light, right?
Right. So the night before the night before.
Hmm.
That night you have to like 12 a.m. I'm thinking, oh, I got to do, Although it's weird that it's 12 a.m. It's weird that no matter what time my colonoscopy is, two
Yep.
days from
Yep.
then, same amount of medicine,
Yep.
same
No matter what
hours you
your
take
body
your,
weight, your
yeah,
body size, they don't ask you if you're a quick shitter.
right, right.
Doesn't matter what.
My appointment was at 1:30, and then they were able to change it to 10 a.m. But that didn't change any of the
Yeah.
prep
Your
schedule.
instructions don't get pushed back 2 hours. Yeah, it's
Right.
insane. It's so weird.
So at 12, I knew I'd start the new liquid diet. So at 11:45 p.m., that's when I made like eggs and shit. I
Okay,
remember that
nice. Good work.
because
You
like
really you
I tricked
yeah,
it.
you really got them.
I got them good. And so then the next day, the day before, 9 a.m., I had toast. They said you can have they go light breakfast, in parentheses, toast. Okay, you can just
Just
write
say
toast.
toast,
All
dicks.
right.
Yeah.
And my chicken broth, and I was supposed to do it at 8 a.m. I didn't do it to 9 a.m. Fuck them. So then you got,
Scammer.
right. Then in the like 3 p.m., what is it? Okay, so the first one's like whatever a.m. This liquid is so fucking disgusting.
So when did you start drinking the liquid itself?
8
3 p.m.?
a.m. and then another session at 3 p.m.
Oh, gross,
Yeah.
man. So you had 24 over 24 hours since first sip.
Yes.
Oh, gross. I'm so sorry.
So you have the solution that you put into a 16-ounce cup. That's about 6 ounces, 10 ounces of water. Then you have to drink another 16 ounces of water, then another 16 ounces of water. That's one session. Then you do the same thing the second time. The first time that I'll tell you about was so fucking gross and
Hmm.
horrible that the second time to do the second bottle, I checked the directions again. Like maybe the second one's easier. Nope,
Yeah.
it's to do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Okay. You, they do not tell you what to expect. I said to this doctor ahead of time, I'm like, yeah, just so I know, I'm expecting what? I'm gonna shit all over the place the day before, right? He goes, no, no, not like that. Just a little bit, be around the toilet if you can. If you
No.
can,
If you can. No, I hate that shit. I hate that
just tell
euphemisms.
me.
They're gonna be like, you will have a purge. Like they use these like
Right,
these high and mighty. They use like the highfalutin language
right,
of like you may sense some discomfort as your body expels.
right. That's why I
And you're
tried
like,
to
that's not
curse with doctors, honestly, to get them to like
yes,
know that
we
you could talk to me like I'm a
yes.
friend. Like, will I shit myself?
Yes, if you are not near a toilet, you will shit yourself. Like,
Yes.
do not wear a belt. You take
Right.
that belt
Oh,
off,
I
you
I
put
did.
on
I wore
sweatpants,
sweatpants.
sweatpants. You got quick up and down, man. We are not fucking around,
I
sir.
did yeah, I did I do the medicine, the first glass of extra water, second glass of extra water, and I'm like, well, this isn't so bad. Maybe I feel a little bloated. I'm not hungry because I'm bloated. And then I took the last sip of the last water, and I'm like,
Mm.
oh, there she blows. You run to the toilet, you sit down, it pours out, you're pissing out your ass, and then I stand up, I wipe, then I'm like, nope, back down. I
Nope.
did the back. If I knew that it's a fucking 12 to 16-hour process, I
Yep.
could have brought in an entertainment center. Realize I gotta, massage my legs every so often. And I would have been okay. But this is not what I was told at all.
There was a point in mine where there was no more solids coming out of me. It was
Yeah.
just straight liquid and it was the same color. Like my body was absorbing nothing. It was straight in, straight out.
Okay.
And I was like, honestly, I want to just sit in in the bathtub.
Right.
Like it's not even worth it for me to sit on the toilet anymore. This is so exhausting. What if I just lean back in the bathtub and just let it go through? I mean, I know that's the grossest thing ever, but it was clear.
I for a
It was
second, I had to stop wiping. I gave myself a
uh,
hemorrhoid. And so I would start showering, but then as soon as I'd get in the shower, and then be like, I gotta go again. And for a
yeah,
second, I debated, I'm like, do I just shit right here and not
I
tell
know.
nobody?
And you're not alone. Did you? Did you shit in the
No,
shower?
I didn't, but
Because it's liquid. It's not even
yeah.
like it's a duty. It's
Right.
not
Nothing would get clogged.
right. There's no clog.
Right.
Exactly. You don't there's no waffle stump, as the kids call it. It's
No,
just clear.
I was shitting straight for at least an hour,
And
and then it happened every so often.
apparently also if you shit like for 3 hours and it's clear, you can stop taking the fluid. Nobody told
Nobody
me.
told me that, which makes
Nobody told
sense
me
that now
that.
I realize it's not so
It's
fucking scientific.
it's not scientific. If you get it all out in the first 6 hours, you don't have to torture yourself and keep taking the liquid for another 6 hours. I think mine was 12 hours long or some bullshit.
I
It was the last like third of it was unnecessary. It was completely cleared out.
I was on the second session, finished the 16 ounces mixed with the mixture, started sipping the second glass of follow-up water out of the first out of two, and I'm about a third in, and I had to throw up. And it came out just as liquidy, but I can taste the medicine that I just took. And I'm
Uh
like, you know what? I'm not telling nobody.
no,
I'm not
don't tell
doing this
nobody.
shit again. There's
Nope,
no way it has to be exactly right.
nope,
No, fuck it. Then
fuck it.
he gets something in my asshole. Because no, I'm not telling him, and I'm never doing this again.
Yep. Well, you're doing it in 5 years.
That's what they say.
Have you? I mean, I've heard I had a family member who did all of the prep and then got rejected like on the table because
How come?
it wasn't cleared out.
Oh, they asked, did I take medicine? I did take something that I got recently from the doctor for my knee, and I'm like, I'm not telling you. I googled it. They said the tiny sip of water is okay. I'm not telling you.
Oh, you could die.
Then they would have more safeguards. They would be,
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean?
They'd be like, you could die if you could do this.
They would blood test you then.
No, they asked me what I took, and I'm on meds, but I was also I take vitamin B, like a vitamin B complex. And they were
Hmm.
like, how much? And I was like, I don't know. It just says vitamin B complex. And they were
Right.
like, every day. And they wouldn't let it go. And I was like,
Right.
dude, I don't know. I did not memorize
And who
which,
cares if it's every day? It's today or it's not.
right. And I was like, if you tell me not to take it the day of the thing, I won't do it. But like, they were grilling me on how much. And I was like, I didn't memorize it. It's just,
And I'm not leaving.
right.
I handcuffed myself to the bed. I'm like, I'm not leaving until
I'm
this is
not
done.
leaving. And they're like, well, Carrie's not here yet, and we can't release you.
So yeah, I tell the doctor, am I gonna shit myself? He's like, yeah, a little. And I'm like, a little. This is so humbling. The amount of you shit yourself. And I'm really not trying to discourage people from getting a colonoscopy. I swear. I'm saying what I wish somebody told me, that I expected it to be so bad. That I should expect throwing up is just fine and doesn't ruin nothing.
Mm.
Different things that, am I dying? I'm Googling. Like, and that's where I get some
You know
answers.
what I thought? I was like, well, if my digestive tract is completely clean, like top to
Right.
bottom, I better lose some weight.
Right.
I'm like, oh, this is like the silver lining, lose a few. No, doesn't work like that. Nope.
I didn't realize, like, just tell me ahead of time I'm gonna shit clear and that's the goal, and that comes through full on diarrhea for half a day.
Yeah.
Just tell me that.
Yep. 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 What was your first meal back when you
Chicken
chicken? Ew.
and like rotisserie chicken. It was good.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
it was tasty.
I pictured raw chicken.
I did sneak in a VR golf game during the prep day with Liz, and I did very well. And I think it's because I was so light, and then I was nervous. Like, we got to finish this game fast. But I found my groove.
God, gross. VR golf on the turlet.
And I'm like, I gotta take more of this bullshit. And she's like, bottoms up. I'm like, bottoms up, bottoms out.
It was great to meet Liz. I mean, every time I meet someone, I want it to be in concert with discussing someone else's asshole.
Right, right. I'm picking
Like
up your
that's my
boyfriend's from his asshole
my
appointment.
favorite way to make new friends. It's like, so your boyfriend's asshole, am I right? She's a good sport. Like,
And yeah, again, the actual procedure, the procedure, that didn't hurt at all. You don't feel it. I'm tight as a drum, so maybe I felt it more than I remember. But oh, you know what upsets me? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong back there.
nothing in you. No,
I
you're
wanted
fine.
something wrong.
A polyp. You could have a
Something.
polyp.
Give me a
We
polyp.
monitor
You took
that.
it out.
A
Okay.
tiny,
No,
tiny polyp, not a big thing. We took it out. Good thing you came in.
yeah. You tell me after, quote, your colon is unremarkable. I'm like, get the fuck out
That's
of here.
mean. I mean, that's just mean.
Yeah.
Unremarkable.
No, I wish I knew, like, get preparation H, use if you do wipe, and you really only need the dab, but if you do wipe,
Don't bother wiping.
use Tux pads or use some kind of some kind of wet wipe.
Yeah. Use a rabbit,
A
like
rabbit?
a bunny,
Oh, I
rabbit,
was thinking, okay.
because they're soft.
Okay.
Something soft.
Yeah,
But I
expect to
also think
vomit.
don't wipe. Don't waste your time.
Don't waste your time.
Don't waste your toilet paper. You're gonna need more in a
Yeah.
minute.
No, I
Yeah.
hurt myself that way as opposed to the camera up my ass. I asked the Moras we talked to the other day, did you guys, any of you throw up? And Karen said that she did. And that just feels better. I'm like, good. How
Yeah.
come nobody fucking told me? Good. I'm glad you did. Makes me
Yeah.
feel good. Thank you. And then Rod said, they say wait 30 minutes to an hour before resuming drinking if it happens. And it's just funny, like, so where's the science?
There's no science.
There's no science. Do your
There,
best, make it clear. And if it's
yeah.
clear, you're done.
Yep. Insane.
Yes.
Insane.
And then my landlord texted me as I'm shitting on the toilet, as I'm pissing on the toilet. They're doing construction upstairs. The workers need to shut their water off tomorrow, 9 a.m. I'm like, oh, we got a problem.
Oh no.
I
No,
said,
bad
well,
day for
and then I
that.
got to tell him, hey, I happen to be taking a colonoscopy prep, and I'm on the toilet constantly. You got to make it to at least 10. And he
Nice.
understood. But I sent that funny thing to Rod and Karen, and Rod wrote back, you can't just hold it. Obviously joking. I thought my landlord wrote that for a second. I'm like, what the fuck? We got a problem. You can't just
That's
hold
awesome.
it.
Just hold it, loser.
Hmm?
Get a bucket. Uh,
Ah. And
So
then
gross.
what would be funny is if because I'm stuck on the toilet, I start, looking around, staring at my bathroom, noticing things wrong with it. I'm like, oh, I have my landlord's attention. You know
Yeah.
what? My ex was right. You should redo the tub. Oh,
Yeah.
look, I'm looking at this.
Yeah.
It's a
There's
weird
cracked
time.
tiles everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you can't just hold
You
it.
can't just hold it.
Oh,
No, I'm going to clog up your bathtub.
my landlord saw books that I wrote in my place and said, "Oh, you write books? You're not going to give me one?" So it was the Great American Novel, the first one I wrote, and I'm like, and so I give him one, of course, and then he goes, "You're not going to sign it," so I sign it.
Yeah.
But there's no way this could work out well. For those that know this reminds me of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, some time ago, and I was going to be on it, and they were going to fix our house, and I passed like the second or third audition even, and then they said something about, oh, and your podcast, tell us more about that. And a listener, happened to put together like a best of hour that he thought people would like to share the show. I didn't listen to it, but
Oh
I
no.
knew of this guy and I trusted it, and I just handed that over. Then I hear it later, and I'm making fun of Mark McGrath being all feminine on Access Hollywood. Hey, what are you wearing? I'm
Oh
not gay, but I'm definitely.
no.
And and that was the end of that. That's what this book made me think about, because I'm like, what's in this book that isn't going to lower my rent?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it could only end up bad. And I said this to News, and he goes, "Oh, I don't know. How about sugar walls?" And I'm like, "Fuck, sugar walls." I lived in an apartment building. The landlord was a real full-on piece of shit. On my way out, I damaged a lot of stuff, and I poured sugar into the walls. Now, I've been paying $2,000 a month here, rent on time, everything. But
No,
I don't
you
need you
did
to know that
not.
years ago I did sugar walls and hammer plates. That's where
Wow.
somebody throws a plate like a skeet, and you throw a hammer at it to hit it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's a good
that's on your
idea.
way out. That's an on your way out activity for sure.
But why are they your plates?
They're not good plates. No. You know how every time you move to a new place, you think you're going to better yourself? I'm like, well, I don't need these plates anymore. I'll get better plates.
Okay.
Yeah, they were real cheap, dollar store used plates, probably. Who knows?
Okay.
I probably found them on the street, little blood, but you can wash that right off.
That's right.
But we'll hope that book doesn't get me in trouble.
Hope that book doesn't get you in trouble, sugar walls.
Hello. Hey, sugar walls. I'm not
Hey,
hitting on you. I'm
sugar
just
walls.
asking if you're a.
Yeah. Yeah. That's gross. I wonder what happens when you
So
put.
I have plenty of time on the toilet, of course. So I'm looking up what is the cost if insurance didn't cover it, of a colonoscopy, and it's like $3,000.
Yeah.
Somehow through my Googling, I come across or I remember these ads for Cologuard. You might have seen it on TV. You get a box in the mail, you shit in it, you send it back. They tell you if you need a colonoscopy.
Right. Thank you.
Why didn't I do this? Insurance covers that as well, and if it doesn't, that's only $500. I think I would have done that instead.
Because they're going to say this isn't a replace. This is not diagnostic. This is screening.
Yeah, it's screening, but if I don't have it, then I don't need the diagnostic, right?
I don't. They're going to say they don't want to get sued, so they're going to say go have a colonoscopy anyway. I don't know. I don't think the shit in the box thing is fun. I think it's just fun to shit in a box and mail it. But you could just do that anyway. Not to me. You don't do that to me. But I think if you want to shit in a box and mail it, you just do that.
So I go. So it's game day. I'm going to the doctor. I pick up a newspaper. The Post is right by me. This right wing bullshit. I'm in it for the gossip.
You
And,
still read physical
yeah.
newspapers.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah.
And you put your paper check into your paper newspaper. Like, all right, 2002.
So, but when I read the Post, when Trump's in charge, it's blatantly disgusting. When they're like, no, of course Elon Musk wasn't giving a Nazi salute at the rally. What was he doing? Well, here's how we say that's not a Nazi salute. Really? You think someone would do that? That's like the whole article. So when I rip out parts of the papers I like, usually I would leave the newspaper on the train for the next person. I would pick it up. But now with the Post, I deliberately throw it away. I don't want anybody reading this
No,
bullshit.
this is not. You're right. Not for human consumption.
I don't want anybody reading that it's good that 1,500 January 6 rioters were all freed. All of them. The QAnon shaman with the horns, he was freed. The Oath Keepers leader, the Proud Boys leader, all these people who had years of year sentence,
Yep,
completely freed. And now having QAnon shaman just wrote, "I got a pardon, baby. Now I'm gonna buy some motherfucking guns."
that's right.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I don't need somebody reading this paper being like, that makes sense to me.
Oh, it's in the news. Must be
Right.
good. Yeah,
Must be fine.
yeah,
Oh man. Yeah, the
yeah.
people that threw fucking um fire extinguishers at cops' heads, you're free.
Yep. The super violent, like the people who just wandered in the crowd, maybe, all right, you could pardon
Right.
them. But the people who did violent acts on
When you took a
camera,
table through a window, you're in trouble.
right. But you did a violent act on another human being and you're on camera, it's irrefutable. No, you're free.
Well, Trump needs an army, so he's got to collect these people back.
Yeah.
The founder of the dark website Silk Road,
He's out.
Ross Ulbricht. He's out. Ulbricht was convicted in February 2015 on charges of including drug trafficking and conspiracies to commit money laundering and computer hacking. He was sentenced to 2 life terms in prison plus 40 years, just in case we get new science.
Right.
You're free. You're
You're
free.
out. You can
Dark
do it.
web. What was worse than the dark web? Didn't sound like anything.
Yeah, it's fine. It's like a regular web, but darker.
The federal government will only recognize two sexes, male and female, under an executive order from President Donald Trump. He's getting right to work. The order will dismantle efforts by the Biden administration to consider them people that are different than male and female. As of 2022, U.S. citizens have been able to select X as their gender marker on passports and an expansion of the LGBTQ plus rights. Now, all government agencies will ensure that official documents, including passports, visas, and global entry cards, accurately reflect the holder's sex, in quotes, adding that sexes are, quote, grounded in fundamental and incontrovertible reality. All right.
What about the people who are legit born intersex? I guess we have to go back to when we just
You,
chopped people up to decide for them.
you see what's bigger, the dick or the clit, I guess.
I mean, some people have a dick clit and you really can't tell.
I don't know. This is where it gets hairy.
I mean, this is what people did in like the 80s and
Yeah,
shit. You
of
would just be
course.
like, well, we wanted a girl, so you just make
Right.
that person a girl. It's
How
terrible.
about the guy that is determining what sex is? Doesn't kiss his wife like a fucking weirdo. He go. It's so weird to see him and his wife not kiss side by side. She has this big Carmen Sandiego hat so that he doesn't get closer, and
Yeah.
they're air kissing, but not even going for that. You ever
Well,
like
because
kiss somebody half-assed? You're like, oh, let me try again.
you're like
Did that
they both have so much makeup on that they
right?
can't risk it rubbing off on the other one because he would leave an orange streak and she would leave
Right.
a white streak. And so you can't, it's two contrasting makeups.
All right.
You can't do it.
Well, everything's shit. My
Everything's
toilet, my
absolute shit.
Liz wrote you, our group. When you leave today, do they make you exit out the rear? And Carrie said, yeah, but it's not exit only, not today.
Yeah.
They let me keep on my socks and shoes for a little dignity. I thought that was interesting.
And shoes?
Yeah, like you could keep those on. What? Okay.
Do you feel more dignified when you're completely naked except for socks and
I would
shoes?
have wore dress shoes. I didn't know I can keep my shoes on.
Or wingtips?
Yeah.
Like, or just cowboy boots? I know what's up.
So they asked right away, um, in this little interview room. All right, and who's picking you up? And I go, Carrie, and they go, okay, she's not here, so you have to have her on the speaker, so just to get the confirmation. I'm like, okay, thank goodness I asked. Then later on, I understand as I'm under or coming to, they call you and say, hey, he's ready for you. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
And then I come out into the waiting room. First of all, by the way, they didn't check on her that she was really there. I did
Nobody,
not need anybody
I,
after all.
nobody. That you could have just wandered out into the
Right.
street all high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would have been weirdly nervous,
But if I
wondering. So
hadn't been
good.
there, they would have been like, where,
Then they would have. Then that's the way it works. Then they would
yeah.
have known.
Oh, it's so infuriating. I wanted them to check to validate the whole thing, but
Right. So
you come out.
in this chat group, Carrie showed her asshole earrings.
That's right.
And I saw she happened to be wearing a winter hat and some other stuff. And so when I opened the door to the waiting room, I saw Carrie sitting there with that hat. And so I thought it'd be funny to walk right past her, holding my asshole, kind of like putting my legs up, like, ow. And I'm like, oh, ow. And then I turned back. It wasn't Carrie, and it
That's
wasn't her
not me.
hat.
That's not me. That's not me. And you came from the door behind me and
Yeah,
that lady. That lady was sitting to my right. It
on the
was
edge,
so
yes.
funny. So fucking funny. And other people had been coming from their procedure from the other
Other
side of the
side.
room. So I was looking for you on the other side of
Okay.
the room. So I didn't turn when I heard the door behind me. I didn't turn around, which would have saved you the embarrassment of pretending that your ass hurt in front of a
I
stranger.
really took a walk too. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And the woman was like, my dad would have done the same thing. So
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
Keith goes, I thought you were someone else. I thought you were her. And he points to me like it's my fault.
Like, that's normal. Like, she would have got it. Like, I think everybody gets it.
I don't get it. What happened? No, she was really funny about it though. She laughed. I think that waiting room needs any levity. It was
Yeah,
like
right, right.
it's a lot of people just waiting for their loved one to come out with a sore asshole.
I get a standing ovation. That is the
Yeah,
most
they're like,
clever
"Thank
shit.
you. Best bit ever."
So the
Yep.
first thing I did after all was before I even ate chicken, I logged on to Sniffies because I'm not going to be fresher than that. So I get the results and nothing remarkable.
Oh,
They eat more fiber. Like, what are you? Of course, eat less fiber. No,
yeah, you're eating too
eat,
much fiber.
eat more fiber. Take daily cereal called Fiber One or Raisin Bran. I'll eat Raisin Bran. Um, let's see. Can be taken with milk, applesauce, or yogurt. What am I, a fucking breakfast commercial? Okay.
How about all three?
3 to 4 pieces of fruit daily, things with peels on them.
Mm.
Okay. Huh. 3 or 4 pieces of fruit. Do you eat 3 or 4 pieces of fruit a day?
Pieces of fruit a day? Probably
That
not.
seems like a lot.
Like I think of like fresh fruit. Just like I don't know what the hell did I eat today?
Even like a fruit cup, though, those aren't really the peeled fruits, right?
Right. That's not, and that's so much sugar
Yeah.
added to it. No, I
Well,
don't. I guess I don't eat a lot of fresh fruit in the winter.
increase
That's
water intake by at least 2 glasses. By the way, this is a printout they give everybody. It's not special, but okay. I should do 2 more glasses. Daily visits to the bathroom, regardless of results, for correct bowel training. What?
boo.
I'm gonna go where I'm not gonna go.
Yeah. Oh, but you were in the military. So apparently, did they train you to shit at a certain time of day when you were in boot camp?
Not necessarily, but you were on a schedule. You were on a sleep
Right.
schedule. You were on a food schedule. So, and it's yeah, it's probably understood. You go back to the dorm or whatever, and you take your shit. But sometimes you still had to do it regardless. And then you,
So like an hour after breakfast or something, like when you're supposed to be
yeah, it was regular.
cleaning.
It was under. They don't go. It's time to shit.
Right, but it's understood. But if you can't happen to go in that slot, is there another time of
Yeah,
day?
yeah, you can shit elsewhere.
Okay.
Other times. But you have to act humble. Like you got to run up to the drill sergeant and go like, "Permission to take a shit at combat speed." And he's the sergeant, and he's like, "This is so stupid, but you're respecting me, so go ahead." I'm like, "Thank you, sergeant." Combat speed. They get horny at that. Just throw that in there
Combat
if you have to do
speed.
something.
I got, yeah.
Permission not to do this activity at combat speed, sir.
Permission to shit for America. Right. I'm a
I
lowly scum and I need to shit out. Yeah.
I think if I get diarrhea or something, I think that my ass pipe turns to the left. I feel like I've noticed. You're right, my stage left. And I wonder if I should have asked the doctor to like, can you make it straighter if it's off?
You straighten out my
Just
asshole
straighten it
pipe.
out at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. He would have been like extra $5, sure.
When you pull the, can you tighten it off?
You tighten it. Yeah. Ugh.
The Golden Raspberry Awards, that seems like a colonoscopy pun, is announced. The 40, first of all, let me say this again, Carrie. I am glad you were there. It was a load off my mind. And what can I say to the people about this? Just yeah, get it done. You have to get it done. But now you know. Now you know that you're not
Yeah.
fucking crazy when you're shitting all over the place. That if it's clear, you don't have to drink more liquid. If you throw up, it's okay. Don't tell them. Lie about medication if you haven't already. If you already started your prep, that's it. So
And if you have
it's
the good
tough, but now
insurance,
you know.
And I read this recently that if you have the good insurance, they now give you pills instead of like nasty fluid to drink.
Did you take the pills?
No, I had this was
Oh,
I guess I didn't have the good insurance or they didn't have the pills back then, but like you take two and then you shit your face off and then like 4 hours later you take another two and you're supposed to be drinking water this whole time, but you don't
okay.
have to drink like nasty medicine
I
fluid.
said to my doctor, are there pills for next time? He's like, yeah, but it's a lot. That's like it's a lot of pills. That's all I know.
Oh,
I don't know if four's a lot.
I don't know.
That
That's a
that he's exaggerating. Not how much I'm on the
right, not
toilet.
how much you're gonna shit. Yeah, yeah. And ladies, go to your gynecological and mammogram visits. That's my
Mhm. Just
you heard
understand it's gonna suck.
it's gonna suck.
That's
There's no
all.
way it doesn't suck.
You might use the bathroom sometimes. Sometimes I brought in an
Yeah,
ottoman.
yeah. Slam your breast in your refrigerator door.
Right. Get ready. Yeah,
That's how
toughen it
that
up like a
feels. Yeah,
karate.
it's that cold and that hard. Yeah, just slam it one boob at a time, and then tell yourself you're doing it wrong.
Right.
That's the wrong way to slam your breast in the refrigerator door, you stupid, stupid old lady.
So speaking of shit, the 45th annual Golden Raspberry Awards are out. That is the worst in movies, the opposite
That's
of the
right.
Oscars.
Which the noms also came out today.
That's right.
I'm sure you saw.
Borderlands is up for worst picture. So these are the worst picture.
Okay.
Borderlands, Joker number two, agreed, agreed. Madam Web, Megalopolis,
Mm,
and Reagan, the Reagan biopic. Borderlands was horrible. Joker is probably the worst because you felt it had so much potential. They are
hmm
good actors. I loved the first one. It went nowhere. So that probably is the worst. Madam Web is just so goofy. Is goofy. Like it's
Okay.
not supposed to be that bad, but Joker was supposed to be that good.
Right, 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 right.
Megalopolis I didn't see, but I guess it's Francis Ford Coppola,
It's
the
fun to
the
say.
Godfather director.
Megalopolis.
Yeah, it really rolls off the
Megalopolis.
tongue.
Yep.
And Reagan, which I had no interest in seeing because the Dennis Quaid plays Reagan, and there's some other actors in there that are very right wing, like on stage with Trump and stuff. And I'm like,
hmm
all right, let me guess how true this Reagan story is gonna be.
hmm
I don't give a shit. Worst actor of the year, Jack Black in Dear Santa.
Oh, sweetie. Well,
My
you know what? He'll accept the award though. If he wins it,
Yeah,
he'll
that'd be
go.
funny. Yeah,
Yeah. Of all people, he'll go.
my brother Ken was like, "You check out this movie, Dear Santa, where a kid writes to Santa Claus but misspells it and sends it to Satan, and Jack Black is Satan. Go get his soul or something." And I saw the promo, and I think less of my brother now, and I'm like, "This looks so stupid." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "What do you mean why?" Like
That's a
understand, like
great premise for a movie.
you just saw. It's a great premise,
Like,
sure. You just saw it, and I didn't see it, but you can't even guess why. Like I know I'm right, and I didn't see it.
yeah.
And so then I go, well, so he's calling me dumb, and I'm like, there's no fucking way it'd be good. And then I see Jack Black is up for worst actor, and I'm like, huh? I don't know.
Huh?
Is this somehow to
That
my
doesn't make you
points?
want to see. That kind of makes me want to see it.
He said, all I heard was an award.
Oh,
Worst actor, Zachary Levi in Harold and the Purple Crayon.
okay.
I don't know, but I know when a movie goes straight to Netflix, the actors aren't pleased.
Right.
Yeah, more eyes. Okay. Joaquin Phoenix for worst actor for Joker. Dennis Quaid in Reagan.
hmm
Jerry Seinfeld in Unfrosted.
Oh no.
Well, he's not an actor, even when you see the Seinfeld show.
Oh
So
yeah,
he's the
yeah,
one that
yeah,
doesn't fit in.
yeah. He's terrible. Yeah.
Worst actress, Kate Blanchett in Borderlands. Lady Gaga in Joker.
Oh no.
They don't have I wouldn't know if, I mean, yeah, put them down for worst actor and actress. But they can only work with what they got, and they got shit. And at what
Yeah.
point do they go, this isn't good?
I don't want it. Yeah.
Bryce Dallas Howard in Argyle. I couldn't finish it. Dakota Johnson in Madam Web. Jennifer Lopez in Atlas. I don't think there's a movie called Atlas. I think they just made it up to
They just made that
fill
up.
it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst supporting actor, Jack Black in Borderlands. He did the voice of a robot.
Oh no, Jack Black.
I always thought it'd
No.
be exciting, like you're up for two things for the Oscars, or
Right,
you have
right.
two or three movies in a movie theater at the same time. This is kind of like that.
Wow. Wow.
I got to win one way or another.
I'm proud of him. I mean,
Uh,
it's good.
Kevin Hart for Borderlands. Shia LaBeouf, it says in parentheses, in drag for Megalopolis.
Wow.
Tahar Rahim for Madam Web. John Voight for Megalopolis, Reagan, Shadowland, and Strangers. John Voight has a big year.
Wow.
He could
Megalopolis.
he could take it for whatever he wants. Supporting actress. Ariana DeBose for Argyle and Craven the Hunter. You're in two fucking bombs.
Wow.
Leslie Ann Down as Margaret Thatcher in Reagan. Emma Roberts, Madam Web. Amy Schumer, Unfrosted. FKA Twigs, The Crow.
I
Okay.
don't know half those names. Am I really out of touch or are they
You
not?
weren't supposed to see these movies anyway, so I guess it's
Okay. I
okay.
did
Yeah,
not
don't
see
worry
these
about it.
movies. Yeah.
Worst director, the directors of Madam Web, Megalopolis, Joker, Borderlands, and Unfrosted. Wait, Eli Roth, I guess, did Borderlands. Wait, what? Oh, no, sorry, I'm reading this wrong. Eli Roth did Borderlands, Jerry Seinfeld for Unfrosted, worst director. He wouldn't have it. He wouldn't joke about it, Jerry. He wouldn't show up, right? He'd be all prudy about it, like the
Yeah,
generation
I
doesn't
think
get it.
of the list of the people I know, Jack Black or Amy Schumer would probably show up to get
Right.
their award. I could see either of them having fun with it, but I don't think
Screen
Jerry. Yeah.
Worst screen combo. Any two obnoxious characters, but especially Jack Black in Borderlands.
Okay.
Any two unfunny comedic actors, in quotes, in Unfrosted.
Oh my God.
The entire worst screen combo. The entire cast of Megalopolis.
Wow.
Worst screen combo. Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga in Joker 2. And worst screen combo. Dennis Quaid and Penelope Ann Miller as Ronnie and Nancy Reagan in Reagan.
If you got an award for worst podcast host, would you show up in person to collect it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Good.
Because if somebody really
Good.
took the time,
I mean, you get dressed up, you know.
right? Now,
Yeah.
there's got to be, because I hate listening to some podcasts sometimes. So whatever, so to be the worst, you'd have to be interesting in some way to be the worst.
Right.
You know,
Right.
with these things. So I think I'd be into if scientifically they found the worst podcast. I think I'd be into it.
Okay. I once got stuck in a house with some stoners and they described their podcast and they were like, we're trying to be the worst podcast in the world.
Okay,
So they would just record for an hour of them making mouth sounds. They would just be like, ooh, ah, 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 ah,
I've heard worse.
really? There's worse? I was
I've heard
like,
worse.
I couldn't even do it live with them. And they were like, we can't wait till we're the worst podcast. I was like, that's amazing.
Wow, and they don't even know we don't have awards yet for it. I
No,
guess they're
no.
ahead of their time. Worst prequel, remake, ripoff, or sequel.
Oh no.
You know, the way all movies are nowadays. The Crow, Joker
Eh,
2,
Okay.
Craven the Hunter, Mufasa the Lion King.
Oh,
And I saw that with Liz's daughter. I like the CGI version of the first Lion King. Mufasa was a little fucking boring.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rebel Moon 2, The Scar Giver. Again, I think they
Don't
made that one up
don't
just
even
to
know
fill
what
it.
that is.
Yeah.
Never
Worst
heard of it.
screenplay, Joker. That was a screenplay. Craven the Hunter, Madam Web, Megalopolis, and Reagan.
Megalopolis.
Let's see. Nominations per picture, just to sum up. Borderlands, Joker, Madam Web, Megalopolis, and Reagan got 6 Razzies each. Unfrosted got a total of 4, and The Crow got a total of 2.
Wow. Who do you think should take it?
The Bills.
Okay. Good
Yeah.
good call.
Yeah.
Keith, we
Yes.
saw a movie in person in the theater a couple of months ago. Someone asked me what movie, and I had no recollection at all what
That's
movie we
that's the
saw.
point of the movie. Heretic.
Heretic.
It,
Thank you.
it is.
Thank you.
It's quite forgettable.
Oh, that was such a forgettable movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Hugh Grant. That's right.
He was really high on himself during that movie
Oh,
with
he
his little
loved himself.
monologues.
He
Oh, he
just
loved it.
loved himself. And he's not up for a Razzie. The one movie I saw in the theater.
It
And
would be
yep.
fun if they have a now. If you go to the Razzie website, it really looks like a kid put it together. It's kind of hard to find even the link to the awards. Ads pop up like right away, like in front of your face. You think it's a scam site. It's
So
very,
good.
it's very strange.
Yeah.
But it would be a fun Raiders room if they had a couple people deciding what's the worst, like being passionate about why this is worse than that.
Right, right, right. Staying up all night with the giant
Right,
board with the pins and the strings.
right.
Yeah.
Carrie Gravenson, you want to follow her online? I'll tell you that much. And you want to hear the stand-up album if you haven't.
You can hear
If
the
you
whole butt
haven't,
story. Hear the whole butt story.
called Cry Through It, and it's very, very good. I like it very much.
Thank you.
KeithandTheGirl.com/VIP. We're about to record a newsie with the chat pack. KeithandTheGirl.com/VIP. Every show we've ever done for 20 years. Look at the times Carrie was on before. KeithandTheGirl.com/Carrie Gravenson. And of course, the spin-off shows. And we'll talk about Rod Morrow, and we'll talk about how Carrie really was behind the scenes, and all that. All right. Thank you, everybody. Carrie, thanks again, and thanks again for showing up. It was
You're
it was
welcome.
a load off my mind for sure.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. See you in 5 years.
See you in 5 years.